Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy and it's great to have you here with me today. I would like to share with you a card that I had made for AlinaCrafts using some of the products from her store. She can be found on AliExpress as well as on Amazon. I'll send those links down in the description box below for you guys. So this is a Peony stamp, stencil, and die set. And this is a 5-step stencil, and as you can see there, it's incredibly detailed. And what I love most about it is the fact that the steps are numbered, but we'll get into that in a minute. So here I have my stamp positioning tool, I've got some paper, and I've got the stamp. So I am going to be prepping my cardstock with my anti-static powder tool. And this is really important because I'm going to be doing some heat embossing. And this is a really nice pigment ink, and it stays wet for longer, which allows me then to pour over it the clear embossing powder and not have to worry about it drying before I'm ready for it to dry or anything of the sort. And the reason why we're doing this is because I want to keep the crisp black of the stamp, even though I'm going to be coloring it over stencil, so it'll resist the color that I put over it while I'm stenciling, but you guys will see that a little bit better in a minute. This here is my trusty color wheel, and I chose to do a triad using the colors from the Makes Me Wonder paper pad. So I chose that light blue you see there in that floral pattern, and I went with purple and yellow, and that's how I chose my colors for the peony for today. So here I have my Alternate inks, and the color here that I'm starting with is the color Wisteria. It is going to be the base color for the flower. This is the first stencil. I will be using all 5 steps in today's video. The 2 little circles that you see there are register marks, which actually helps you line up your stencils as you flip through it and make sure that your stencil's in the correct spot each time, and that everything lines up nicely. Second color I'm using is the color Hydrangea, which is slightly darker as you can see, and it'll give my flower some more details. I'll be honest with you guys, this took way more than just one try to line up. But my goodness, am I loving video editing. So I start off with a lighter hand just to sort of make sure that this is the color and before I can fully commit, and then I realize this is a little too light, and then you'll see me really add more and more deeper, darker color just to give some more definition to the flower. Now, sometimes I struggle to choose colors for things, which is why I keep my color wheel nearby. Every so often, I'll bring it out and I'll make sure that, that I'm able to choose colors that are either complementary, analogous, or just to give me some ideas, because sometimes I do get stuck. This next color that we're using is the color Ultraviolet, and so it's going to be the darkest color of the flower. And so you can see that I am no longer shy about how much color I am putting here. I do continue to color in those register marks because I keep thinking to myself, well, what if I lose the mark? But in any event, side note, I don't actually stencil this quickly. It does take me a little bit, but again, the magic of editing means I can speed this up quite a bit. So here I have the flowers, and yes, I know my brushes could definitely use a good wash. Sorry, not the flowers. Did I say flowers? I meant the leaves. So here I am coloring the leaves. The first I started with the middle of the flower, and I used the color Hazelnut, also from Automotive. And then I've got here the color Firefly, which is the green that I'm using, the base layer that I'm using for the leaves. I ended up feeling like that color was a little bit light, and I did come in with a second slightly darker green. I believe the name of that color is Grass Fields. I'll show you guys the cap in a minute. And I added a bit more definition towards the bottom of the leaves, and this was in hopes of just deepening the color so that there wasn't that stark difference between the rest of the flower and the green leaves. I didn't want the flowers to be too dark versus the pale green that would have been what the leaves would have turned out to be. So this is the color Shadow Creek. It's the last darkest color I'll be using. The last part of this stencil, darkest color I'll be using. It's the 5th part. This just adds a little bit more detail to those leaves. So I remove my stencil, and let's be honest, I'm not going to wipe them off right away, but what I will do is grab my microfiber cloth and buff off any excess ink that there might be on the black lines, so that embossing that we did resists any inking. So here I have a sentiment stamp set from Alina, and it's got tons of beautiful sentiments and a die that cuts them all out at once, and I keep them in this little clear pouch that I had gotten on Amazon. Now, I'm constantly in need of anniversary cards, so I figured, sure, we're going to turn this one into an anniversary card too. And so I picked the sentiment there, Happy Anniversary. These are some sentiments that I had made a little while ago, and I saved them for this occasion. Now, here's the thing. I am a patterned paper hoarder. And please let me know if you are too. That way maybe we can form a club. And I'm trying to figure out how I can do it so that I don't have to use the entire piece of this matting layer, because I really didn't want to waste all of the, well, it's not a waste, but I didn't want to cover up the rest of that middle sheet. So I took a smaller rectangle and I cut it out of the middle, and that way I can save that for another card. In this little glue bottle, I've got some of Ranger's Multi-Medium in the matte finish, and I had a few globs there, so I decided to spread it out with my fingers and then instantly regretted it because it was then all sticky. But that's paper crafting. I mean, when are we not covered in glitter or glue? For that smaller mat, the blue one, I decided to use some foam tape. Now I lost the clip of that. So bam, suddenly it's already stuck on, and I've already stuck on the foam tape also on the flower, and I decided to go for straight in the middle. Now, for my sentiment, I realized that it looked very stark white up against the blue and the purple and everything else being colored. So the sentiment is also heat embossed in clear. It was stamped in black and heat embossed in clear embossing powder. So I took some of the hazelnut that I used for the middle of the flower, and I took the residual ink that was on the brush and just added a little bit of color over top of the sentiment. I buffed off any color that might have been on the black letters, and that was it. That's the card for today. You can find some better, closer pictures of it on my Instagram. I'll post a link to that below as well. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please like, comment, subscribe, and all the other fun things down below. Thank you. Bye-bye.